Hello, my name is Sarah from Catch PTSD, making PTSD understandable. People often ask me, can children have PTSD? And my answer is yes. They can not only be suffering PTSD-type symptoms, but can also be building the triggers for developing PTSD later in life. And you may have no idea that's happening. In general, childhood is when we're most vulnerable, especially when we're very young. Babies and young toddlers have no way to protect themselves from trauma or abuse. They can't run away, they can't hide. Whatever happens to them is inescapable. Many people believe babies and young children do not have much awareness of what's going on around them. If you argue in front of a child or express fear in front of a baby, people think that they don't understand. But the one thing hypnotherapy has taught me is that babies understand everything and they experience adult emotions but have no idea what to do with them. So troubling, upsetting feelings get pushed down inside their tiny frame and stored somewhere. I know this because in hypnosis, when a client's mind is asked to take them back to the very first time they felt destabilizing emotion, they almost always go to an event when they were very young, even tiny, and have a full recall of what is going on around them and how they feel about it. It certainly makes you think twice and act differently as a parent, I can tell you. If a baby experiences repeated trauma, even if it's a secondary trauma from a parental breakup, all the way up to severe abuse, all those adult emotions remain inside, deep down, stashed away. And if they're not talked about, dissected and resolved, there they stay. That emotional upheaval may not be visible at all in the child for years, until it may come out as anger, anxiety, depression, anorexia, even self-harming. If you ask the child why they feel the way they do, or why they're acting a certain way, they may have no idea. The memory will have been repressed, but there will be signs in their past, things that have happened that would have shredded the emotions of an adult, let alone a small child. If unaddressed or even medicated away, those feelings can balloon endlessly, exponentially inside a person until the body can no longer suppress them. Much later in life, the impact of an original trauma as a young child may burst forth, triggered by something that happens then, and take the form of panic attacks, anxiety, depression, hypertension or hypervigilance, physical symptoms, even paralysis and seizures. The way to avoid this emotional destruction, potentially spilling over onto partners and children, is to address the trauma in childhood. All mental health issues in any form have an emotional trauma root. Hypnotherapy works just as well for children, conducted in person or online. Even children as young as 5 are able to explain what's at the root of their emotional upheaval when allowed to use hypnotherapy techniques to describe it. So often young children and teenagers are not even asked what's at the root of their behaviour before being given potentially dangerous medication. There's a pattern, a theme, not only in our responses to trauma, but also in what happens to us to trigger it. Stopping that theme in childhood can save decades of emotional difficulty. Each person who experiences hypnotherapy for PTSD finds themselves aware of something traumatic that happened, generally as a very young child, which explains exactly why they've been feeling and acting the way they have for years. The earlier the cause is revealed, the faster it's diffused. If you're aware of a child who may be exhibiting any mental health issues, consider Catch PTSD hypnotherapy first to help them. It's a gentle, exploratory, revelatory therapy that's far more effective than any medication. Always try hypnotherapy first. Contact catchptsd.com. We can help whatever the age of the sufferer.